Hi guys, and welcome to this lesson and video which is on chromatic enclosures. As the name suggests, we chromatically enclose a chordal note, okay, and that really helps us spell out the changes. I've first heard Vic Spiderback do one of these many years ago. I'm pretty sure he does one in Singing the Blues, one chromatic enclosure in there. But if you look at the playing of people like Clifford Brown, Fats Navarro, Charlie Parker, Cannibal Adderley, they feature much more in their solos. As I say, this is just a basic introduction using that 251 that we've been using for the vocabulary section of the coaching program in concert B flat major. Okay, so for today, for this lesson, I'm going to be looking at it in B flat pitch, which is a D minor 7 to a G7 to the C7. That's how it looks there with the chords. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is just play through the target notes for beat 1. Okay, we're just going to chunk this up a little bit rather than just going straight in trying to do the whole thing. We're just going to approach, or certainly at first, just get that target note in our ear. So just that D to the G to the C. Okay, here it goes. Have a listen to this. Play along. Play it a few times, and you just need to keep doing that until you feel comfortable and confident, and that you can really hear those target notes. Practice singing them too. I highly recommend everything in the coaching program that we play. I recommend trying to sing also. Here we go. So play along with that as many times as you need to become really familiar with those notes, and more importantly, really hear those notes. That's what you're trying to, the whole point of what we're trying to do there is just develop that ability. Da, da, dee. The better your inner ear gets and that connection with the fingers, it's ear training, finger coordination, the better chance you have of playing something interesting when we improvise over these chord changes. So here we go now, practicing the chromatic enclosure, enclosing beats 1 of this major 251. So the challenge for you guys there is to practice that until you can do it without reading the music and just easy peasy, round and round, just playing that all day long with no thought, just da 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 da, ba da da da, dee 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 dee. You need to get that with your fingers and your ear working perfectly. So here we go now, targeting beats 3 of the D minor 7, G7 and C major 7. These are the chord notes. This is how it sounds with the backing track. And as before, here we now go only targeting beat 3 with the chromatic enclosures. So maybe a few times read it until you get used to it, but then you just want to get this under your fingers where you are only using your ear. Okay, you're just using your ear and developing that ear finger coordination. Here we go. Chromatically enclosing beats 3. Now that is a little bit more challenging than targeting beat 1. So if that doesn't appeal to you too much, targeting beat 3, maybe just move straight on to from targeting beat 1 to doing the whole things. Okay, now we are going to target beats 1 and beats 3. Okay, so we are hitting the tonic, the third, the tonic, the third, the tonic, the third. That's the way the line goes for this particular exercise. Bar 22. Here we go. Okay, next part of this lesson is chromatically enclosing beats 1 and beats 3 ascending. Now this might seem pretty daunting at first when you first see this lesson and first start doing it, but this is quite advanced. This is quite advanced, and it's just a basic overview of something you can eventually incorporate into your practice once you've really got the hang of the chord notes. And of course, we won't be enclosing like this all the time. You might simply enclose beat 1 and then play something completely different, play some syncopated rhythm. So try not to be overwhelmed. This is just an exercise and a means to an end. But nonetheless, here we go. So for the next part of this lesson, we are descending. Okay, so the beat 1 is going to be the third. We are always chromatically enclosing the third. So as you can see, my target note is the F, is the B, and the E. Here we go. Again, la, la, la. That's what you really want to get in your ears, guys. Okay, that is what you're trying to enclose. Okay, so here we go now, chromatically enclosing those thirds, which is the thirds on beat 1, D minor 7, G7, C major 7. Here we go with the backing track. Here we go now, just targeting beats 3, which as you can see is the tonic of each chord. So as I'm looking at bar 40, bar 3 is the D for D minor 7. The next bar is the G for G7. And the next bar is C for C major 7. And of course, try singing this, really get this in your ear too. Okay, here we go with the backing track. As I mentioned in the ascending part of this lesson, targeting beat 3, a bit more tricky, but I just thought for those people that really like to chunk and scaffold their learning, it's ideal, okay, just to break it down into smaller chunks and just really hear beat 3. Okay, this is how it sounds using the chromatic enclosure. Practice along, remember to do it many, many, many times. So now, bar 48, we are targeting beats 1 and beats 3, okay? But it's better just to think of it as a line. This is like the melodic line that you're going to be trying to hear through a jazz standard. But for this exercise, it is just a 2-5-1, a major 2-5-1. So it's the third to the tonic, the third to the tonic, the third to the tonic. And this is how it sounds, the descending line. Okay, now here we go. Once you've got those target notes really firmly in your ears, it's time to start to practice the chromatic enclosures. This is how it sounds with the backing track. Okay, so remember, you can just make a note of the time on the video and then just keep repeating it, going over and over and over it again. A great little exercise to really get these chromatic enclosures under your fingers. Here we go. So just to show you how effective these can be, I am now going to play you an etude that I created some time ago for a Clifford Brown book I created. And this is the first chorus of Sweet Clifford, which is over the chords to Sweet Georgia Brown. And just the first chorus, you'll see there's 13, I counted, chromatic enclosures. There's other types of enclosures, but chromatic enclosures, pure chromatic enclosures, as we've discussed in this lesson, there's 13 in this first chorus. So check it out. I put it in B flat, and you can just see underneath the enclosure I have put a bracket. So I hope you've enjoyed this lesson, guys. They can appear very intimidating at first and quite tricky. I can still remember the first time just playing through some chromatic enclosures in the key of C and thinking this is going to take me forever, but I can promise you it doesn't. The more practice you do on them, the easier it gets. Just make sure you get really good at playing them in just one key, and then it is so much easier to transfer them to other keys. See you in the next lesson. Bye for now.